So here's a little warning before my review begins. There will be spoilers in this video, so beware. I won't try to waste y'all's time, so let's just get straight to it. Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is LovePud and today we're going to be talking about the new Superman movie. I know a lot of people went into this movie with a lot of expectations. Some of them thinking that it was going to be really good, some of them thinking it's going to be terrible. I went in thinking I was going to love it. And that's what I thought for the first time around, at least. And what I'm really trying to say is the movie is actually really good. It's a great movie. It's a great Superman movie. Probably the best Superman movie in my opinion. I had the most fun with this one. I think it was incredible. It's more of wanting something out of the movie than what you're actually getting, and that can sometimes ruin an experience, especially when you're really excited for a movie. First time around, I didn't really love it. I liked it, and that's why I went to go see the movie a second time. And that's only when I realized how good the movie actually was, and I grew to love it a lot more. It's not a masterpiece, it's not terrible, but it is a really great movie, and I think it's a really fun time to go out and see with your friends, family. It's just a real good fun ride. So let's talk about the characters now that I've gotten my other stuff out of the way. David Corenswet as Superman. Let's start with him. Holy shit, this guy was fantastic. This guy really felt like Superman from the comics, and really just this whole movie felt like an actual comic book movie come to life. A lot of movies are afraid to do that. A lot of movies are too afraid to get a little campy, a little goofy. But this movie doesn't shy away at all. This is like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man of DC movies. It's like that's how I feel when watching this movie. It feels like they're not shying away from the source material and they're just going all in. And a lot of people might be turned off by that. In my opinion, I think that's the best way to go about it, because the comic books are great for a reason. Why would you want to change that? And if you don't like it, then you may just not be a fan of the comics. I don't want to be calling anybody out in this video. I'm just saying this is how I feel. I'm not super into comics. I do love comic book movies, but every now and then I'll jump into comics, and especially for this movie, hearing about what comics inspired it, I wanted to dive in a little bit. And I did the same for the Batman. I read Batman Year One. I watched the animated movie. I read The Long Halloween just to prepare for it because I wanted to get the vibe that they were going for. I never really properly made a review on the Batman, but anyway, we're talking about Superman. So next up, let's talk about Lex Luthor. Of course, Superman's nemesis. And holy shit, is he a nemesis in this film. Bro is actually insane. And I'm not talking about Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor insane. This guy is properly insane. This guy actually feels like an evil person. Most of the time when comic book movies bring a villain to life, they're not really as evil as, you'd expect a villain to be. Like, there's this article that came out before the movie released, talking about a scene that was removed from the movie, where Ultraman punches Krypto, and there were negative reactions to it. And I was confused by that, because James Gunn has shown animal cruelty in the past, and it's not to glorify it, it's to make the audience hate the villain. Because that's the point of the villain. You're not supposed to like the villain. So I just thought that was kind of weird, but seeing the movie, I think what they did with Lex Luthor was just fine enough. Especially that scene with Molly. That was so sad. I didn't think they were gonna go that far at all. And so yeah, honestly, I think this is my favorite live action portrayal of Lex Luthor. I haven't seen Smallville, but I heard that Michael Rosenbaum is the best so far in live action, but so far this is my favorite live action adaptation. Now let's talk about other side characters. Not really side characters. Lois Lane, who's played by Rachel Brosnahan from this other show, Mrs. Maisel, I heard was really great. I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my watch list. And so hearing that she delivers a great performance in that, and that a lot of people were hyping her up to be a really good Lois Lane, I totally got that. She was a really great Lois Lane, and by far, out of every live action adaptation, she is the best in my opinion. Every character in this film really feels like they were just brought from the comics, and it's in the best way possible. See, Jimmy Olsen's also great. Man, I did not expect to like Jimmy Olsen that much in the movie, since we barely even see him in live action like at all. But I'm glad they did his character justice, for real. Who am I forgetting? Oh yeah, right, the Justice Gang. Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl, they were all great. Man, I love them. I didn't really know a lot about Green Lantern from the comics, but there we go, Nathan Fillion. I think he did a really great job as Guy Gardner. Hearing about who this character was and learning more about him from the comics, I think he really fits the character. But I personally think he was really great. He was definitely a huge asshole, but in the best way possible, and I can't wait to see more of him. I think he's going to be in Peacemaker Season 2 along with Hawkgirl, and I'm kind of glad about that because I want to talk about Hawkgirl next before I get into the really good stuff. So, Hawkgirl, played by Isabella Merced. I think she was good, but she was, like, very underutilized. There were not a lot of scenes with her, and I think she can be a really interesting character, but I'm glad we're going to see more of her in Peacemaker Season 2. I heard she's a very interesting character in the comics, but now let's really talk about the good stuff. Mr. Terrific, oh my god. Bro, I fucking loved him in this movie. By far, he might even be, like, I enjoyed his screen time more than Superman. Okay, actually that's a far reach. The beach scene, the beach fight scene was just so fucking cool. I can't wait to see more of his character. If we get a spin-off show or something, I'm eating that up. And I think that about does it for all the characters in the movie. Oh right, Ma and Pa Kent, they definitely serve a purpose in the movie, and I think they were handled really well. Seeing Pa Kent alive is really nice, and the whole speech with a father and son moment was just incredible. It almost made me cry because I don't know, I always fall for like moments like that, and just, man, this is a very emotional movie, but it's also a very funny movie as well. Like, I didn't expect for there to be so many jokes. Like, it's not too many. There's some moments where jokes kind of cut into the emotional moments and kind of ruin them a little bit, but it's not too bad. There are some emotional scenes and some down-to-earth scenes that work really well. Anyway, but now that we're talking about the Ma and Pa Kent stuff, I kind of want to connect that with another plot point in the movie where Superman's true intentions are actually revealed, and that's to take over the world and have a harem of women and repopulate Krypton, which at first I was blown away by. I did not expect that at all. And that's a pretty big change to Superman's parents. But honestly, I'm okay with it, because when you think about it, Superman's parents don't also have to be good. It's really Ma and Pa Kent who raised Superman to be the man he is. And I think that's what really matters. And I think that really works in this film. There's a point when Superman finds out about all of this and is really confused and is conflicted and feels like he's lost who he is. And then he has that conversation with his father where he tells him that his actions and his choices is what makes him who he is. And that the parents don't make who the person you're going to be. They really just give you the tools so you can find out for yourself. And I think that really works for this Superman. Above all odds of what he was sent to Earth to do, he decides to be a good person and to do as much good as possible. And God, I love that so much. Let's talk about the action. Holy crap, the action's fucking awesome. Like, some battles straight up feel like anime fights, like, but it's kind of, it's not perfect though, because Superman does get beat up a lot, and hearing about James Gunn's comments about Superman not being as strong as he is in the comics, and he actually made him weaker so he can be beaten, at first I was a little about that, and then I realized, you know, that could be a really interesting thing to do. You know, he's still extremely powerful, but he's not gonna fucking punch a sun, you know, into pieces. It's not really that Superman is super weak, but the enemy is just really strong and is on his level. Which brings me to my next thing about Ultraman. Ultraman being revealed as Superman's clone was a very predictable thing. I still thought it was cool. He was a cool character in the film, and the way that Lex utilized him with kind of controlling his move set, I thought was really badass, and it really showed how smart Lex is, because he's able to memorize all these fucking fight patterns, and how they utilized him was really cool, with how Superman was basically fighting two people at once. You got the brains of Lex Luthor controlling him, and the strength of his own clone beating his ass. And it seems like Superman isn't really that much of a fighter, which honestly is okay. I still think that his scenes were fucking cool in the movie, and all the times that he was ore farming was just so peak. And yeah, that's about all I have to say. And I think what it boils down to is that I think if you see the movie the first time and you don't like it as much as you thought you were going to, that's okay. But I encourage you to see it a second time so you can really see the movie for what it is. And don't let your expectations, ruin your experience. I think a lot of people get that confused, and when they see a movie and they don't like it as much as they thought they were going to, they call it mid, or it was just not good. But also, of course, people have their own opinions, and at the end of the day, that's okay. It don't matter because this movie succeeded. Look at the money riling. Oh my god, dude. This movie was peak, and I can't wait for the whole rest of the DCU to come out, because I think it's gonna be great. And if it isn't, then I'll let you know. So yeah, hope you kind of liked my review on Superman. Oh yeah, didn't really give it a score. I don't like giving movies a score, but if I were to give it a score, I'd probably give it like a 8 out of 10, 8.5 maybe. It was a great, fun ride, and yeah, hope y'all have a great day. See ya.